Welcome back to the second video in this real-time container series. So in this video, we are going to learn about the container APIs. Okay. So we generally call as MKT container APIs. So Pega provides a set of container APIs packaged in a service package. There are two kinds of services, secured and unsecured services. Secured services generally use it for server-to-server communication. Example, let us say there is a middleware system between the front-end website and also the Pega CDH server. So at that time, the middleware system and also the Pega CDH has to communicate, right? So at that time, we can go for the secured service. Whereas unsecured service generally use it for browser and Pega direct communication. So yeah, unsecured services in the sense those are publicly available. I mean, there is no need of sending any username or password or any authentication protocol is not actually required. It is your choice. You can also use the secured services whenever you are going with the direct services as well. But Pega is providing both. Now, in order to support these two secured and unsecured, we have two service packages. One is Pega MKT container. This is for unsecured services. And Pega CDH secured container. This is for secured services. Okay. Now let us quickly go to the Pega Dev Studio and open the Pega MKT container and Pega CDH secured container. So copy the Pega MKT container. So just search in the search bar. Okay, you can see the service package. Just open it. So similarly, the second one is Pega CDH secured container. Okay, yeah. So if you see the CDH secured container, it requires authentication and authentication type is OAuth 2.0. Whereas the Pega MKT container, it doesn't require any authentication. That means it is publicly available. And in this service package, you can see rule service HTTP services are available, mainly the capture click-through service. And if you go to rule service rest and come down, you can see the container service, capture response service, okay, and customer offer history service. And also we have a capture click-through service as well. And there are many other services like capture mobile impression, web impression. These are not being used now. Only one thing is we are only using the container and also the capture response. The capture response, yeah, we are going, I mean, I will be making a new post on capture response. That will be my next project or next video. Okay. That will not be covered in this particular post, I guess. Yeah. So you can see the latest one we are going to work is the container V4 service. We also have container V3 and container V2. There are some enhancements to container V4, which we will be seeing those enhancements. What are the enhancements very soon? Okay. So now let me go to the next slide. So the important container services. The first one is the container service. So the container REST service is available to make the next best action decision in the inbound real-time channels such as web, self-service, call center, and mobile application. And it supports both the get and post method. Next one is a capture response service. Suppose if the whenever you created a container, right, in the previous video, you have selected capture and retrieval. For example, if you have selected capture by channel, at that time the channel has to send that particular outcome to the Pega system, right? At that time it uses the capture response service. So capture response is again a REST service that supports the post HTTP method. This service basically allows the callers to capture responses to action triggered through real-time containers. Yeah, so whenever, as I told you an example, right? So through the real-time container, let us say if you have sent an offer to that particular offer, if you want to receive an outcome, if they want to send an outcome, let us say viewed or impression kind of, they will use this capture response. Next one is capture click through. Again, uh, so if the customer has viewed the offer, it is called as an impression. If you also click that particular offer, if you want to capture that particular clicked outcome, okay, we have the capture click through API. So this API provides the ability to easily capture a clicked outcome for an action returned by the container service and redirect the customer to the web page as defined on the action rule form. So basically, in the treatment, you have defined the click through URL, correct? So that means whenever the customer clicks on that particular action, it will be redirected to that particular target website. In the same time, the Pega will also receive that click action. Okay. And yeah, it has two protocols, HTTP and also the REST protocol provisions. The beauty of the container services, right? This container service. So whenever you enable that, whenever in the treatment, whenever you enable that capture click through, at that time, what happens is it automatically generates a URL. Okay, and that URL will be sent as part of the response payload. Now that URL can be used by the calling system, whether it is website or not. Okay. So for the CTA or click to action. So whenever the customer clicks on that particular image or that particular offer, okay, they can navigate to that URL, okay, which is already generated by Pega. And that URL will take care of sending the capture click action and also it will go to the target website. That is the beauty. We will actually see that very soon. And there are other services. One of them is customer offer history. This is also a REST service that support both the GET method and POST HTTP method. This service return the interaction history records for a customer. Basically, you will provide the customer ID and it will provide the interaction history of that particular customer. Yeah, we will also see this in our next series of videos. Next one is the capture order. This is basically a wrapper REST service that support the post HTTP method. Okay. And this service allows the client system to capture the response as ordered outcome for the actions which are about to be fulfilled. This is basically used in the assisted channels. I will tell you an example. Let us say I got a call from a particular bank asking for a credit card, whether I will be taking credit card or not. Suppose if I take that particular credit card, that means that particular order has been fulfilled, right? That means I have ordered that particular credit card. Okay. So the Pega, if that particular organization is using the Pega as a system, they can use this capture order. If I actually, they will have their own CRM system, right? So from their CRM system, they will call the customers. And if the customers accept that particular offer, then immediately they can use, the system can use capture order API to record that particular offer has been ordered by the customer. Yeah, again, it will be stored under interaction history. Awesome. Now, in this video, let us purely focus on the container service. Okay, let us talk about unsecured container first. Let us understand the service better from the documentation. So, similar to other videos which I am making, let us again go through the documentation and let us understand from there. Okay. To access the container service, you have to open the Pega MKT container service package, which we have already opened. And from there, let us open the container v4 service. Okay. And so once we open that, and also once we understand the request and response from the documentation, we will test that particular container API from the Postman. So as we know, this container service supports both the REST and both get and post method. We are going to focus only on the post method. And also let us understand few important attributes in the response. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, let us complete this particular slide. Let me open the container service. So you can also go to, basically you can go to the docs.pega.com and search for requesting next best action decisions with unsecured container service, or just type container service in the search, you can actually easily navigate. Perfect. So as I told you, there are two endpoints. One is post endpoint, another one is get endpoint. Okay. And the URL patterns, there are one is client managed cloud, another one is Pega cloud 3.x. So there are two kinds of URL patterns over here. Fine. Now, as I told you earlier, right, there are versions. There are different versions of container APIs. The V1 and V2 are deprecated, and in the V3 and V4, there are few changes. In the V3, the identity matching is supported, and multi-channel campaigns are also supported along with the resource parameter. Profile merge is not supported. And in the V4, identity matching is not supported, and no support for multi-channel campaigns or the resource parameter, and also profile merge is supported. Now, what are these identity matching, profile merge, etc.? Yeah, I will make further videos about very detailed about identity matching, and also how we can associate a real-time container with multi-channel campaign, and what is a profile merge. This is a very important feature. Basically, I will provide a simple abstract view about the profile merge. Suppose if you are opening a website and you did not log in into the website, but you have gone through the accounts or credit cards page in that. Now, suddenly you have logged in. Okay. Now, whenever you have logged in, before logged in, you are a prospect or you are not a customer. Simply, you are a person, you are viewing a website, and the business don't know who you are. They don't know your identity as well. But suddenly, when you log in, so they want to understand your previous activity as well. So that is why your profile will be merged. Your previous activity will be converted to a known activity, or they will make an identity that, okay, so the known person with this particular customer ID has done all these things. That is called as a profile merge. But we will see a detailed about this profile merge in an upcoming video. Perfect. Now, since we are talking about the post service request, so here you can actually see what are the values or what are the attributes which you have to pass as part of a payload. Let us understand one by one. So first one is the subject ID. This is nothing but customer ID. Context name. So yeah, based upon your context dictionary setup, you can provide any context name. So in our case, in the Academy instance, there are two contexts, customer and account. I am going to use only the primary context over here. I will provide the customer as a value. And the external ID is it's an optional, right? So external ID is nothing but the third party. Suppose when you are using third party identity management, this represents the identifier for the user. Yeah, basically it's ID which is being maintained at a different system, that is called an external ID. And the container name, this is a very important attribute. What container you want to execute? Okay. I think we have created cards container in our previous video. We are going to use the same. And coming to the channel, yeah. So channel will be the web channel. We can have web channel, mobile channel, any real-time channel you can use. Since we have created the treatment for the web channel, we will provide the web access value. Now the direction will be inbound. So again, this is related to inbound channels, right? So we will provide the inbound itself. Now coming to the placement, remember when we created the treatment, it shows a drop down. It showed a drop down. It shows many options like tile, carousel, header, footer, etc. So you can also provide what kind of placement you are calling from. Suppose in a website you have five places where you are calling a container. For example, the tile container, header container, hero banner container, footer container, carousel container. So you can just pass from where you are calling. Based upon that only, that particular treatment will be shown to you. Okay, and this is a very important feature. Although many of us don't use, but again, this is a very important feature. Now the next one is context. It is a page list or JSON array which describes a situation of that particular customer in that particular channel. So, for example, I am in a accounts page. So In the context, I can pass, okay, this particular person is present in the accounts page. Based upon that context, you can upweight or downweight the actions present in a particular issue or group. Again, I have a separate video which describes about context weighting, and that will be coming soon. And next one is the application ID. This is a very important feature. As most of you know that from Pega 8.8, um, we can create multiple applications in the same server, right? Prior to the 8.8, we can only have one context dictionary per server, but from 8.8, the revolution has happened. You can create n number of applications, and for every application, you can have your own context dictionary. So suppose if in this server, maybe in this academy instance, if there are multiple applications, you should provide the application ID, okay? Uh, so that Pega will pick appropriate application context, and then appropriate context dictionary will set up, and the NBA designer logic will execute, and appropriate offer will be sent. Awesome. Now, as I told you, the context, right? The context has that is a JSON array, and that JSON array has three values: type, value, and key. Okay. The key is the identifier of the context information. For example, let us say event, and in the value for the specified key. Okay, so for example, the customer has abruptly ended the transaction. That is a value. Okay, and in the type of the context data. Okay, so now this is how the request looks like. So now let me copy this request. Now go to the postman. So here I'm going to create a new request. So since I want to use the post method, I will select the post method. In the URL, yeah, I will copy the URL from the service rest soon. But since I already copied the request, I will prepare the JSON payload. So in the params, select body, and in the none, select raw. So here you select a JSON. So provide the value over here. So in the subject ID, let us provide 14. In the context name, let us select customer. And in the container name, let us go back to the customer decision hub, open the container, and then copy the ID. So, okay, let me go back to real-time artifacts, container. This is the container which we have created. So just copy the name of this container. So provide the name over here. The channel will be web direction is inbound, and in the placement, I think we have created a tile treatment. Let me select a tile. Okay. What are the values possible? I mean, what are the values present in the placement or drop down in the treatment? Those values are possible. Okay. So since we have created the tile, I will use the tile only. Later, we will also test it with hero, and let us see if we are getting an offer or not. Now in this app ID, we have to provide the context dictionary identifier. So how to get it? So go to the App Studio. Okay. And so here go to settings, context dictionary. So here you can see context dictionary identifier, it is CDH. In most of the cases, the application identifier and the context dictionary identifier will be the same. In our case, it is CDH, and I'm not going to pass any context over here. Now coming to the URL. So how to get the URL? So let us open the container v4 from the Pega MKT container service package. And from here, we can copy the URL. So here you can see the service endpoint URL, just copy this. Now let me just paste it over here. Okay, and no other changes are required. Since it is an unsecured container, it should work. So since it is the first time, yeah, okay. What does it say? Cards container is not active in any channel configuration. Okay, let me quickly refresh this. You can see, yes, this container will respond to requests. This is fine. Now let me go to the channels tab, next best action designer. channels. Yeah. So this is actually active. Let me go to refresh once. Okay. Maybe let me try it again. Okay. So it is not, I mean, cards container is not active. It is showing the same message. So let me click on edit and I will resave this. This will not happen very ideally. This is very rare because the cards container is active over here, but somehow it is not showing up. Okay, let me click on send again. So now it is taking some time to process the request. That means there is some configuration mismatch happened earlier. That is why it is showing up that message. So now within few seconds, you will be able to see the result from that particular container execution. Awesome. So now that you can see, we have one record over here. Okay, there is one record. Now let us understand the structure of it. So the JSON object starts from here. It says status OK, okay, and then the container list. So yeah, so you can also pass multiple containers in the request. For every container, the Pega CDH will execute and it will provide the offer. Since we passed only one container, in the container list, there is only one item. Okay. And so what is the first item? Yeah, again, that container status is okay. And the container name is cards container. And in this particular cards container, there will be a JSON array called ranked results. This ranked results will again show the number of offers which came as part of the result of this cards container. In our case, we have only one result. Okay. Now, what is this result? Let us understand few very important attributes. So first is issue lending, group is credit cards, and the name of this action is Millennia Credit Card. Awesome. Now the interaction ID. So the interaction ID is the identifier of that particular decision. Whenever the strategy is getting executed, it will generate an interaction ID for that particular transaction. So let us say if this particular customer is qualified for more than one offer, at that time two offers will be generated. But the interaction ID for both of the offers will be the same. Okay. And this interaction ID is important because it is a unique identifier of that particular decision. Okay. So this interaction ID will be required for the capture response service to identify the other attributes. Okay. So whenever we are discussing about the capture response service, we will also discuss about this interaction ID. Now the subject ID is 14. Okay. And the content format is image and the direction is inbound, the short description, okay, and this is the identifier. Now the placement type is tile. Since I have passed the tile, we have only one treatment which belong to the placement type tile. That is why we got this. And the propensity and priority, these values will be calculated based upon the arbitration and the channel is web. Now the image URL. So this is the image URL. This can be used by the front end system to show the image. Now the rank is one. So since we have only one, it is showing one. If we have two, the first one will have rank one, the second one will have rank two. Now the treatment is Millennia cart tile. Now the click-through URL. You can see the beauty of the container services. It will automatically generate the click-through URL. And this URL is nothing but whenever you hit this particular URL, it will hit the Pega CDH click-through service. Okay, so this is basically called as HTTP request. Okay, it's not kind of a REST, it's not following REST protocol, it's just HTTP request. Now, when I click on this particular URL, it will send the message it will send a message to, or it will send a request to Pega CDH stating that this action has been clicked by the person. Okay. Now the next one is again subject ID 14. This is the decision time and the context is customer. Now what I will do is I will click this URL. So it is loading. So what it will do, it will capture the response in the Pega CDH system. And again, what it will do, it will navigate to the appropriate website. Since I have provided hdfcbank.com, that is why this website has been came. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah. So this is how the response is occurring. Awesome, right? Now let us see whether this records has been captured by Pega or not. That we will see very quickly. Now, instead of tile, I will provide hero and I will click on send. Now, what is the response it will send? Yeah, you can see there are no offers available. Why? Because we haven't created any treatment with the placement hero. We have only created with the placement type as tile. So again, if I provide the placement as tile, I again received the Millennia credit card. So I hope you understood the request and response structure. Awesome. Now let me go to the customer decision hub and open the customer profile viewer very quickly. And here I will provide the 14 customer ID and click on view. So here it will in the overview tab. So here it is showing. You can see here, right? So 11:35 a.m. I think this is the EST time of this server. You can see there is an impression, and at 11:39 a.m. we have clicker response, and at 11:40 a.m. we again got impression. So because I again ran this particular service, right? That is why we got the impression over here. So the clicker response, I have copied the I think I have clicked the click through URL. At that time, it has captured the clicked outcome and also it has also opened the hdfcbank.com. So I will click on this again. Okay. Yeah. Now it has navigated to hdfcbank.com. If I come back to the customer decision hub and I click on view again, it has to show the clicked response again. You can see. Perfect. And also after some time, you can go to the interaction history tab and then you can load the interactions. So basically it will load the data from the files. Basically from the 24.2 by default, Pega is allowing us to write the data to interaction history files actually. Okay. After some time, if you click on load all interactions, the interactions will be loaded from the files. But here you can see the quick view of the capture records over here. I hope you enjoyed this video. So in the next video, we are going to learn about few backend things. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for being patient over this video. I hope you got the required things in this video. See you in the next video.